In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience using the refurbished 2018 iPad Pro, what I think about it, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, so let's get into the video. Greetings Aqua fam, it is Ben Aqua, and here is the 2018 iPad Pro. And before I start this video, be sure to subscribe if you're not already, smash the like button, add me on Instagram and Spotify. I'll leave all the links to my juicy stuff in the description below. So without further ado, here is the 2018 refurbished iPad Pro. This is the Space Gray 256 GigaWiggle edition. It's an amazing, amazing iPad. This is by far the best iPad I have ever used. I don't really have many regrets in terms of whether I should have gotten the 2020 iPad Pro, the new one, versus the 2018 refurbished right here. But using this iPad, I mean, it is so fast. You can just see how zippy it is. Everything opens like basically instantly. There hasn't really been a whole lot of like lag going on. I mean, the speed of this iPad is just insanity, and it doesn't really leave me thinking like, oh, I should have gotten the 2020 iPad Pro because it's like, 2.8% faster or whatever. There's been several moments where I've been like, why do I even need something even faster than this? So in terms of speed, there's definitely nothing wrong with this iPad Pro. And if you're thinking about getting the refurbished 2018 model like me versus getting the new 2020 model, I really don't think you're gonna notice like a huge difference between this iPad Pro and the 2020 iPad Pro. Even when I'm doing stuff like editing video in LumaFusion, which is pretty graphically intensive, I mean, look at this. It's just so smooth. You don't really ever see a slowdown. I'm on iPadOS 13.4.1, so eagerly awaiting a little update because there have been some kind of glitches I've noticed, but it seems more like it's just an iOS thing. So speed is awesome, and let's also talk about this display. This display is so gorgeous. It's one of the nicest looking displays I've ever used pretty much on any device, and I love that it has that ProMotion, which makes things just seem, super colorful. Colors look awesome on this display. It feels really accurate. I really have enjoyed watching TV shows, watching Netflix, playing games on this thing. The display is just an awesome quality, and it definitely doesn't seem lacking in any department there either. It gets plenty bright, and even just to film this video, I'm not even at 100%, and it's easily getting a really nice bright image. It's almost too bright sometimes, like if I'm in like a really dark room and I'll turn the brightness all the way down, I'll be like, damn, I can't see a damn thing because I'm being blinded by this thing still. So it's so bright, it's so fast, it feels hyper smooth. Another thing I also really love about this iPad is you can easily use a keyboard, and this is a third-party Logitech keyboard. This is the K811. It works really well with the iPad Pro, and also connecting a trackpad or a mouse is really easy and enables like a whole other experience with the iPad Pro that makes it really feel like a laptop. There's the whole question of whether the iPad Pro can replace a laptop, and my quick opinion on that is yes, it totally can, unless you're using certain apps. Like for me, Ableton Live is a music production software that I use to make all my music and stuff and podcasts and everything, and that app is just not available in iOS, so I have to switch over to my iMac over here or to my MacBook Pro when I'm editing music. And I also use Final Cut Pro a lot on my iMac and on my MacBook Pro. LumaFusion is the app that I use on my iPad Pro when I'm editing videos, as you can see here, and it's buttery smooth. It's not fully featured in the same way that Final Cut Pro is, but really when you use the combination of the iPad Pro with a keyboard and a mouse, it really does feel more like a laptop. But of course it has the convenience of portability, where it's just so easy to take it off the stand and be like, okay, now I'm gonna go over here and work on my video over here on the table or whatever. Like, it just feels more portable, and overall the experience just feels more inviting and more fun than using a laptop. I think a lot of that is due to iOS and just how awesome that whole experience is of, touch gestures and being able to swipe and move things around. I mean, iOS is just very familiar and very well done in my opinion. So another thing that I really love, you can see the battery life is 77%. I've been using it for a few hours and it's only down to 77, which is really awesome. And because it's refurbished, they throw in a new battery. So the battery life on this iPad Pro is just amazing. I've never really had an issue with being like, oh my God, this is draining really fast. I think the only time when it felt like it was draining fast was when I was using TikTok a lot. For some reason TikTok just seems to use a lot of resources on this iPad Pro and on my phone. It drains my phone battery like super quickly. But other than that, even when I'm editing video or doing something a little more graphically intensive, like editing a photo or something, this iPad holds up really well in terms of battery life. Also, I can definitely get a solid, 7 or 8 hours out of this battery. I don't time it, but I can use this iPad basically all day if I wanted to, and I never have actually run out of battery using this all day, which is kind of crazy to think about. Another thing I also really like is how easy it is to carry this iPad around. I mean, it's just so thin, and it's just so easy to just pick up and set down and then just start doing all of your work. I do feel sometimes when I have this kind of desktop situation that I should have gotten the 12.9 inch, because it's nice to have a bigger screen, when you're watching videos or something sometimes, or editing a video. But for the most part, the 11 inch model is super easy to just pick up and move around, to different parts of my house if I want to sit on the couch with it. And speaking of sitting on the couch with it, this is my almost only con that I can think of with the iPad Pro, is sometimes it does feel a little big. Even the 11-inch version, it can get kind of heavy when I'm sitting there on the couch just like reading stuff, looking through the New York Times or whatever. It's definitely usable on the couch, but it does feel like it starts to get a little heavy after using it for, even like 10-15 minutes or something. But it's just so fun to use that I honestly put that aside most of the time just to be like, I need to use this freaking iPad. Another con that I can think of this iPad is the camera. It leaves a lot to be desired. Oh, hey, by the way, you'll see a lot of people talking about how weird it is that the camera, at least the front-facing camera, is on the side. I think the placement of the camera is definitely really weird versus being here, because I'm guessing most people will be using this iPad in landscape orientation. So it is kind of weird, like when you're doing video calls and stuff. If you want it to look like you're actually looking at the person you're talking to, you have to look way over here to the side to this tiny little camera over here, and just remember that it's over there. Otherwise, you look like you're actually talking to somebody off the side, which is kind of strange. It looks like you're almost talking to someone else. I wish the camera was actually placed in the middle of the iPad on the top. And also the quality of the rear-facing camera is not the best in the world. I mean, it's fine. You can shoot 4K video with this, and it looks, basically okay. But I wouldn't really use this for filming anything fancy or vlogging or anything. First of all, it's just too big to vlog with this, in my opinion. It hurts to hold it for a while. The quality is okay. It's a little grainy, and it's not as fancy as the newer iPhone cameras. But, it gets the job done if you're just going to be scanning documents or doing simple videos or photos. It's fine for that. I think one of the only reasons that I would upgrade to the 2020 iPad is the better camera. And I do wonder if I had a better camera on my iPad, if I would actually take more photos. I can't see myself doing that, but really that's one of the only cons. The camera is not the best quality on the front or the back. Honestly, I can't think of another con of this iPad. I mean, I just really have enjoyed using it. I use it every day for so many things, including reading the news or listening to music. I got my YouTube music going on here. Everything just feels very smooth and buttery. It's just a really awesome iPad experience, and without a doubt my favorite iPad I have ever used. My second favorite is probably the iPad Mini 5, just because it's more portable than this. If you're thinking about getting this iPad refurbished, I highly recommend getting it. I really don't think most people will notice a lot of the differences in this iPad versus the 2020 iPad. The screen is very similar, the speed is pretty similar. You'll just be getting a better camera and the LiDAR sensor on the 2020. So obviously I'm a huge fan of this iPad Pro. I highly recommend it. Even after a month, I'm like, damn, this is my favorite iPad of all time. I don't even question that. It's a really good deal, I think, for the price. But the experience of using an iPad, I mean, I can do like 90% of the tasks that I normally do on a computer on my iPad. So I actually prefer to do it on my iPad because it's just more fun, it's more convenient, I can take it with me, it's portable, I can easily throw it in my bag if I'm traveling or something. I hope this video was useful for you. If it was, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell if you're feeling juicy. And also you can support me by listening to my music on Spotify, following me on there, and sharing my songs with the masses so Ben Aqua can take over the damn world with your help. So anyway, I'm gonna stop babbling. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having an awesome day. Create some stuff, have a positive attitude, stop fighting with each other, and I'll see you in the next video.